How's it? Today is Tuesday, February 27th. Back squats today. I was scared at the beginning of these squats, but it turned out a lot better than I anticipated. I was planning to do, 155 for a set of three, which is 3 kilos up from where I did last week. And last week was not easy. Last week I did 152 for two sets of two because everything felt like I was not going to be able to make a single set of three. So I did the set of two, and I was like, all right, if I come back and make a single, like a set of one, then I'm going to have the same amount of volume, just split up across two sets. And that's okay. And then I talked to Keith. Keith's the owner of the gym, by the way. Super high level elite powerlifter. He's also like 60 something. So he's been around the sport for a very long time. But he was like, yeah, just do two. Do you think you can do two? I was like, I think I can do two. So I ended up doing two. And that meant that I did more volume last week than I did the week before. Which is crazy to think. I ended up reducing my down sets from, I think they were supposed to be 140 last week. So I went to 135 because those top set, I guess the two top sets were very difficult. So that meant that today's down sets also were changed for the same reason. As far as today goes, 155 for a set of three. I think that today's warm-up was a lot better. I feel like when I was out kind of to figure out how I wanted to move today, that sounds like a weird statement to say, but a lot of my squat has been hampered by my lower back issues, and then recently my left knee, for some reason, it feels like my patella is gonna like explode sometimes. Not all the time, but I mentioned if I do more hamstring work, more hamstring warm-ups at the beginning of the warm-ups, before the squats even start, then my knee starts to feel a lot better. And that was definitely true. Here's 140. That's my last warm-up set. That shit flew so fast, right? So here's 155 for a set of three. I feel like first and foremost, you see my belt here. It's a different belt. You see the white belt on the back over there with the weights? That's my normal belt. That's a hook grip belt. This is an illegal belt. It's a lot thicker and a lot stiffer. It's also less adjustable, so I don't like it as much. So I haven't used it in probably 2 years. Definitely haven't really used it at Central Strength. So, first time today. And I think it was a good move. I don't feel like I want to rely on the belt necessarily, but if I have the equipment to be better, then why not be better, right? So, yeah, like kind of going back to my knee thing, I try my best to prime myself with like hamstring warm-ups to be in a better position like for my knee. If I'm a little bit more active with my posterior chain, then my knee is a little bit less stressed. And it definitely was very true today. Like I feel like my squats today look like I know how to squat at least a little bit, like the mechanism of movement. Whereas last week and the weeks before that, it felt like I didn't know what I was doing. It felt like I was honestly just kind of going through the motions and just bending my knee and then hoping to God that I could straighten my knee with the weight on my back. And it feels like today was a step in the right direction. I mean, I guess every day that I don't die at the gym is a step in the right direction. If I failed some, then I learn. If I make some lifts, then I lifted well, right? But yeah, today 138, which is 3 kilos up from my down sets from last week. So I'm allowed to. So I talked with Danny actually. Danny's a guy from the gym. Danny, I don't know if you've ever seen the video, but he's a huge, gigantic dude, like probably like 6'5", long hair, big beard, super, super nice guy. But I was talking to him about like programming and stuff. And like, we're talking about like high intensity and pushing volume and all these things. And like, for where I'm at, I'm pushing higher intensity, but I'm still able to maintain the volume that I was doing a couple weeks ago. And I'm increasing on that weight as far as intensity goes. So my intensity and volume are pushing a little bit better. And like, that's super exciting for me because I've never been like the strongest guy in the gym, never been the strongest in my weight class, literally ever. So, steps in the right direction. Overhead press today at 55, which is 5 kilos up from last week. I'm almost back to pressing 60 for 5.5s, which that's probably going to be my baseline of like, oh, my shoulder is pretty healthy. Some of these presses today were not super comfortable, but I don't think any of them were painful. I think that 65 in 2 weeks is probably going to be where I start to realize that I'm not strong enough anymore. But I think next week do 60 for 5.5s. I'm like 90% sure I'll be able to do that. So that's positive. Finished off today with some accessories. Did all my sets for my split squats here because I think those are helpful for my knee. I did actually only one set of my dips, back extension, and my GHD hamstring curl, hamstring negatives. For a variety of reasons, I was rushing because what the fuck is new? Always rushing. I'm rushing. I'm Mr. fucking Rush. But back extensions were okay. I only did the one set for the leg or the hamstring curls because it felt like I was gonna catch a big cramp and not be okay to walk, and that's not something I wanted to do. So I kept it to the one set. I think that's a smart move. Is it worth it to push into pain and suffering for this accessory move? Probably not. Right there, you see that I had to pull my leg out because I was like, this is stressful. But yeah, I mean today was good. Like I expected to be challenged very hard. Just my brother says, right? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just do the stuff. Yeah. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.